WSRX or Noah Clark, and you're watching Worldwide Sim Racing for the Italian Grand Prix. We are in the closing stages of this championship, just a few more rounds to go. What would normally be called the halfway point in a Formula One season, though it doesn't really line up that way. Nevertheless, we are getting ready for the start of this race. I would like to make some news as possible. Sweet Crown 19 with a possible injury could hinder his performance. He might not even make it to the race right now. He's not in the lobby, so we'll have to wait and see. Still waiting for confirmation if he's going to be racing tonight, but nevertheless, a little bit of drama before the start of the race. Might see a new winner today. Maybe it's Anthony 8291. Our man WSR Fluffinutta was the guy who put on the hot lap to this week, and he is going to be looking to get far up the grid. He had some pretty serious pace in time trials. Let's see if he can put it together for the actual race itself. I'm very excited to be bringing you this WSR Formula World Championship race. We are in, again, the closing stages of the championship. Sweet Crown 19 with a very big lead, though he may not make it to the race this week. We'll have to wait and see. Getting ready for the start, just waiting for everything to get settled. We are but a few moments away from the start of short qualifying. 11 competitors join us right now. Still no sign of Sweet Crown 19. We will update you if he is or is not going to be joining the race. If he doesn't join the race, we're guaranteed another winner in WSR. Whether or not that's going to be Anthony 82 or it's going to be another man on the grid, we'll have to wait and see. But nevertheless, it's going to be a good one. I'm very happy to be bringing you this race today. It's going to be really awesome. I'm really excited to be talking with all of you and commentating over this race as we get ready for the Italian Grand Prix. Speed is key around this track, and I know it's going to be a good one. 11 competitors on the grid right now out of the 18. Still no Sweet Crown 19. I think we might have him. I think we might have this race without him. The championship leader will take a hit in the points, which is not going to help his standing whatsoever. There was an injury before the race, which, no Sweet Crown 19. Short qualifying is underway, and we are getting ready for the start of short qualifying for the Italian Grand Prix. The cars go in excess of over 215 miles an hour. This is going to be a really good one, folks. I'm really excited to bring you this Grand Prix. One of my favorite tracks around the calendar, the Monza circuit, the modern day circuit. The oval probably would be killing a few drivers right now, how unstable that oval was. But nevertheless, we're getting ready, loading up into the Monza circuit. Going to have a few AI drivers on the grid as they will fill in the respective slots. So we'll get a few more drivers on the grid besides that. Let's see now the final lineup. We got Flip Flop Fish, Kevin Magnussen, Fluffinutta, LBQ 1, Josh 2, Speed Kills 3, Gernman, Lewis Hamilton, Fly By Night, Voodoo 52, WSRU Semi Flyin', Hartman, and Anthony 8291, second in the championship, looking to bring home some points and get further up in the points and hopefully bring that gap a lot closer to Sweet Crown 19. Of course, Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton will be the first men to come out of the pits, though I do believe I saw one car coming out. Maybe not. No, we're still waiting. Both on outlaps, the AI drivers, though I am hearing another engine roaring up, and it is Flip Flop Fish in the Mercedes. And the McLaren of Voodoo 52. The first man, oh no, the Williams of Josh 2 actually is the first man to come out onto the grid. And he will be the first man to set a lap unless some other drivers overtake him. Really is all about toe here. You might have saw the horrid Q3 of the Italian Grand Prix. All the drivers going very slow, wanting to get a tow from another driver. Josh 2 technically going to be giving tow to Voodoo 52 as long as Voodoo 52 can stay in there. And really, it is that tow that's really going to make a difference for a lot of these drivers. They're warming up their tires, and you can already see a lot of the drivers are very close to each other. And it's going to be really interesting. Look at that, just a big line of cars. They should all get relative tows off each other. The tow obviously being the slipstream. You gain a huge amount of straight line speed, and in a track like Monza, that is imperative to getting a good qualifying time. And well, look at that, the Renault of El Biku letting by, I believe that's Fly By Night, trying to get a tow on him. Though no driver really wants to be letting go, but you can't slow down on track dangerously. Look how close all these drivers are. It's really interesting to see as Kevin Magnussen has started his first lap. Is that Hartman, I believe? Lewis Hamilton has started a lap, and look at this. Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton are very close. And Lewis Hamilton overtakes I believe that might actually have been Hartman. Josh 2 is the first man to set a lap time. Let's see what the speed is on there. It's 218 miles an hour, braking hard into the chicane. The first few turns treacherous at the beginning of a Grand Prix, especially around Monza, as now coming around the Curva Grande. And it's 205 miles an hour before we run up on the grass a little bit. Really trying to extend the limit so he can hit those apexes, go straight through the chicane. He did it very well there. Josh 2 on a pretty good lap right now. Now coming into the Lesbo corners of Lesbo 1 and then Lesbo 2 before coming up onto the second DRS straight at the Monza circuit before coming up to the Ascari chicane. Kevin Magnussen sets the fastest at the 122.3. Lewis Hamilton behind him. And Josh 2 is really planted right now, making sure not to get the car to slide out too much, and he catches it. Doesn't let the car misbehave. As Josh 2 going at light speed right now. Look at that speedometer climb. He gets to 209 before braking hard into the final turn, the Parabolica, before coming across the line, and it is going to be a 129, and then German bests it. It's a 126, and then there's Josh 2 second. Voodoo 52 is in third, and Anthony 82 goes fastest. It's a 119.8, and then Fly By Night, and then Fluffernutter, all the times coming on now. Really awesome stuff. Fluffernutter sitting in fourth. Flip Flop Fish. And then there goes You See Me Flying. He's into the top three. It's a 124. The lap times are just coming in and coming in. Let's see if we can catch another driver. Here comes El Biku. And was that Hartman? No, Hartman is finally finishing his lap. He's set in an overtake mode. He actually decreased at the high through the turns, which is interesting. A yellow flag in Sector 2. But we're going to run on board of Hartman. Let's see what he can do. Qualifying has not been fantastic for the Haas driver, looking to get further up the grid. Now, coming around the Parabolica, it is going to be a 121.8. It's only best for 8th fastest, so not where he'd like to be. El Biku 1 now, looking to set his first lap time of qualifying. Hot lap activated, 50% left as he heads into Sector 3. And Sector 2 is 54. Coming through the Ascari chicane, not letting the back end misbehave. As El Biku now is getting slipstreamed by Fly By Night. This is going to really help his straight line speed. He's going to get to 202.11 before the braking zone, a few miles per hour faster than Josh 2 as he's coming around the Parabolica and just extending it and then cutting across. And no, El Biku goes right into the pits. He was not interested in setting a lap time. That's interesting. I don't know if he wasn't happy with the lap time. I would have put it in anyway. Speed Kills 3 also going to pits. Look at how busy the pit lane is. And oh, dear no. El Biku looks to be getting held up by Fluffernutter, who has gone into the pits. 6th fastest for him. And look at Hartman now. Hartman finally coming around. All the drivers basically going to the pits at the exact same time. The busiest pit lane I've seen in quite a long time. And then limping around And finally, the Haas driver of Hartman now riding into his pit crew. So all the drivers have set times. Anthony 8291 is the fastest man on track. Flip Flop Fish is in second. You See Me Flying is in third. Gurman in fourth. And Josh 2 rounds off the top 5. Fluffinutta only in 6th position. Definitely would like to go faster, but it was not the greatest of times. And look at the tire smoke. All the drivers coming out now. And a lot of them, Albiku, Speed Kills, not able to set a time. Albiku actually hasn't come out of the track yet. Fly By Night looking to set another lap time. Only 9th fastest for him. Gurman sitting in 4th fastest. He's out again for another lap, and he is behind Fly By Night in the Toro Rosso. Flip Flop Fish cuts the chicane, actually, and pulling a little bit of Nico Hulkenberg, it looked like, going through the little tight turns you have to do to go through there without receiving a penalty. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the Italian Grand Prix, and look at that. Flip Flop Fish is cutting a lot of corners, and I hope he's not getting invalidated times, but he doesn't want to be dilly-dallying a lot as he's going through a few key corners, I'd have to say at least. A few key corners is the best I can put it without sounding a little harsh. Fly By Night is in ninth, and look at all the drivers right there as there's a yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 2. And I don't know who that particularly was. Albiku is on a hot lap right now. Sorry, not an out lap right now. But here comes Speed Kills 3. He'll be the first man to cross the line to set another lap. Fly By Night in the Toro Rosso will get Slipstream on Speed Kills. Gurman behind him will have Slipstream. You don't want to be battling drivers, though. You want to make sure he gets his braking zone right, that he isn't trying to make an overtake. And, oh, there is racing going on as Speed Kills just decides to get out of the way. And he doesn't want to be bothering with any business. Quite frankly, stupid business to be racing right now. Another yellow flag in Sector 1. Flip Flop Fish currently on a lap. You See Me Flying not on a lap right now. He's not going to gain that advantage of the slipstream. And Gurman has aborted his lap. I would presume Speed Kills is aborting the lap. Yes, he is. He's keeping it all together. I don't know if Fly By Night is aborting it. And he looks to be going on. Let's see what the Sector 2 time is going to be. Coming up to Sector 2, it's looking maybe a little bit faster, and it's 0.3 faster, but it's not nearly enough to get him anywhere further up the grid. He would remain 9th fastest unless he can really put together a final few turns and really put everything together in this lap. Hartman in the Haas now setting his first lap. You See Me Flying is not having any of this busy driving around the track. Fly By Night now coming across the line. It is going to be 6th fastest, so really awesome 3rd sector, and he moves further up the grid. Fluffinutta only now in 7th position. Let's see what he can do in the Sector 2. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. And I'm not sure who that was. Voodoo 52 looked to be a slow 3rd sector as he's going to be coming around the Parabolica. Let's see what he can do in the McLaren, which has just signed a new contract in 2021 to be powered by Mercedes engines. It's going to be really awesome to see that partnership in Formula 1. And yes, it is a pit for Voodoo 52. Still 8th fastest. Fluffinutta now coming around Parabolica. Is it going to be a faster lap time for him? No, it's looking pretty slow actually, and yes, it is. It is a slow time, and he will have to set another lap time, and he's got it, and no, he's no ERS, no DRS. That was a little bit of a tongue twister. Well, it says that the ERS is open. I think we might be getting a bit of a graphical glitch because I did see the flap open. So I think he's going to be on a lap time right now. Let's ride on board with Fluffinutta. Let's see what the Sector 1 time is going to be. If it's going to be faster, we do know that then he is running at a higher ERS deployment. And no, it's 1.3 seconds off. So really saving this time right now. He's only on the medium compound tire, which is a little bit interesting. As Anthony 82 coming into Sector 2, and he's really pushing the curb right there. And I don't know if you want to be doing that, as coming around the Lesbo corners before coming up to the DRS straight, and oh, he runs up on the grass a lot. And yes, I do think this is a lap not worth noting, and no ERS getting dropped in. I don't think he cared too much about that lap. And the only driver not yet to set a time is Speed Kills. He did have a run-in with Fly By Night in the second run-ins of laps. As let's ride on board with You See Me Flying, who is looking to set a lap time, though not a lot of ERS saved up. Only 50% as he's entering into this next lap. So that might affect him. We'll have to wait and see. You can keep it on Hot Lap. Hot Lap actually decreases the battery less than Overtake, which is the preferred method for a lot of the drivers on here, as it increases acceleration a lot more than Hot Lap. But of course, Hot Lap does get you out of the corners a little bit better. And coming through to say, oh, almost lost the car right there. A little bit of wheel spin. And oh, there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Oh, dear no. Voodoo 52 is coming up. Let's see where this car is. And Voodoo 52 is slowing down. And I can't see the car. No, I can't see it. The yellow flag went away. I didn't see the car. Might have just gone off somewhere in the chicane. Nevertheless, Josh 2 is out of qualifying. Only 6th fastest. Fly By Night went off the grid. There's Speed Kills 3. And looking to try to get ahead of Speed Kills 3. I'm not too sure about this. And look at this. They're racing again. Speed Kills is on a hot lap. So is Fly By Night, but really battling for track positions. Fly By Night and Speed Kills 3. I have a feeling they might get to come to blows if they get close to each other on the grid. You see me flying pitted, not happy with the lap. Flip Flop Fish, let's look at his Sector 2 time. It is plus 1,000th of a second. And Iconic Q joins a little bit too late, and well, Flip Flop Fish just, oh, well, there's compact injury. And look at this. Fly By Night and Speed Kills 3 are really battling for position on track, but it is ultimately Speed Kills that has the better position, as he's going to be in the slipstream of Fly By Night. DRS activated. What is Fly By Night going to do? DRS is activated for him, but he's catching up really quickly. I don't think he wants to be doing this. And now Fly By Night gets way out of the way. Fly By Night doesn't even challenge, but now Fly By Night is the one who's going to get slipstream on Speed Kills 3. And there's another yellow flag in Sector 3. Not sure who that was for. Most drivers are in the pits. Fly By Night now coming up through into Sector 2. He's still in the slipstream of Speed Kills 3. If he can stay close to him through the Lesbo corners, he'll have good slipstream on him in the DRS zone. As coming up to that DRS zone, and Speed Kills is a little bit further away than I think he would like. DRS is activated. Let's see if he's going to be... Nope, no, wow, Speed Kills 3 really pushed it, and Fly By Night just isn't happy. He's aborted the lap, and 7th fastest still. But Speed Kills 3 has to set something, because he's still on the bottom of the grid with no lap time set. He's got to get something going, because it's really going to hinder his chances of getting further into this race. As coming around the Parabolica, it is a 116, 117. The lap is actually looking pretty competitive right now. Let's see, it's going to be a 121.4. It's best for 10th fastest into the points. The Renault driver of Albiku 1 gets pushed outside of the top 10, currently on a hot lap, out lap right now. Fluffinutta, only a fastest, not putting it all together right now. 20.9 is that time, so a little bit further off the pace than I think he would have liked. We probably would prefer to be in the low 20s, but if he can't get it going, then he just can't get it going. The top 4 all on outlaps. Anthony 82, though, coming across the line to start his next lap. Fluffinutta on that outlap. Anthony 82 braking hard into the first few turns of this track before putting on the power again. Full speed through to Curva Grande. Let's see what that Sector 1 time is going to be. Is he going to come up with more pace, as I believe he's got that soft compound tire on, and it is going to be, no, 700ths of a second slower than the previous Sector 1 time, so not going faster. I think that really does confirm slipstream is key around here, as there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. And Speed Kills 3 goes into the pits again. Let's ride on board of Fluffernutter. Sector 1 time. Now we're going to look at that. That's really what's key and what's really important here. Not a lap time worth mentioning right now. Only a fastest. He might be able to improve. Let's see what the Sector 1 time knows. 600ths of a second slower in the first sector. So now into the second sector, the Lesbo corners. He can make up a lot of time here. Just brake a little bit later than he normally would. Maybe he can get it going. And right on the limit, look at that. Almost extending all four wheels off the track. Coming through Lesbo 2. Now DRS activated down to the Ascari chicane, which is right at the beginning of Sector 3. What's that time going to be? It's going to be 500ths faster, which would promote him to 7th position. Fly by night at the moment, sitting in 7th. And they're separated by just a 100th of a second from each other. So really, really close indeed. As Flip Flop Fish is going all the way off track. And then You See Me Flying goes faster, but it's not fast enough, and he's going to sit only 3rd fastest. And I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I just pressed the back button on my controller, so I do apologize for that. We're back. We're back. I was clawing the controller. As Fluffernutter sits 6th fastest. He did improve. And who was that? Oh, to be somebody going off track a little bit. And we're in the last few seconds of qualifying. You See Me Flying and Flip Flop Fish is 2nd fastest. Gurman and Albiku goes 4th fastest. And he is done with qualifying as he blows the chicane. And Anthony 82 is actually done with qualifying. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Is that around the Parabolica? I believe it would be around the Parabolica. And let's see, there's that yellow flag waving in Sector 3. Anything doing? Can we see any cars, any carnage? Yellow flag in Sector 3 again, and there is a yellow flag that just dissipated. Kevin Magnussen will finish off his qualifying and improve. And oh, look at that! It is! It's the carcass of, looked to be one of the Mercedes drivers, and I think that's Flip Flop Fish. And yes, Flip Flop Fish has crashed. He's sitting on track. It hasn't ruled him out. He's 2nd fastest. But the car is sitting there stationary, and that's going to ruin a few laps here as Fly By Night goes faster. It's 5th fastest for him. You See Me Flying in 6th, but that's a real rarity at the end here, and Elbiku retires as well. And 5th fastest for Fly By Night, not the worst qualifying. I think he'll be happy with that, though it will be tough to get further up the grid. You have to stay close to the drivers. As there is the lineup, Anthony 82 on pole, Flip Flop Fish in 2nd, and Gurman in 3rd. Albiku in 4th, Fly By Night in 5th position. Josh 2 is all the way down in 10th. You See Me Flying in 6th, 7th for Voodoo 52, Fluffernutter in 8th, 9th are Hartman. Speed Kills 3, the last human driver, sitting all the way down in 11th, just outside the points. So, scoring points looks to be good. Safety cars, not aplenty around here. And on the game, pretty much non-existent. But we'll see what happens as we're getting ready for the start of the Italian Grand Prix, loading up into the lobby. Will we see any rain? And no. We are good to go. A little bit cloudy skies, maybe rain in the future, but at the moment it is all dry around here. Good to see. We've had a few too many races filled with rain. So we're getting ready for the start of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is WSRX or Noah Clark, and you're watching Worldwide Sim Racing for the Italian Grand Prix. And we're just waiting. Session start time in 25 seconds and counting as all the check marks are coming up. Looks to be all good to go. We'll get the formation lap, and then we'll get the 5 red lights, and then you know the drill. If you've been watching us all this season, we thank you for your continued support. If you're new, thank you for joining us tonight. It's going to be a good one. I'm really excited to bring this race for you, and there is the single red light that goes off to signal the formation lap, and here we go. Anthony 8291 leads them off in pole position. Flip-Flop Fish in the Mercedes, who crashed at the end of qualifying, sits in second. Gurman in third position, followed by Albiku 1 in fourth. Fly By Night rounds off the top 5, and he is in fifth. WSR You See Me Flying in sixth position, followed by the McLaren of Voodoo 52. The Renault of Fluffinutta, who did not put it all together, sitting down all the way in eighth position, looking to get further up the grid. Hartman in ninth position, and Josh 2 rounds off the top 10. And Speed Kills 3, not the best at qualifying, only sitting in 11th position, just shy of a point scoring position. And then the AI drivers of Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen in 12th and 13th. Very excited. We're getting ready. 27 laps of high-speed action around the Monza circuit. And there's Anthony 82 warming up his tires. All the cars are weaving around. And Flip-Flop Fish almost lost it. Running a little bit too much weaving. Here's the big weave. We're going to see a lot of weaving here. And look at that. All we need is that Kimi Räikkönen, that guy who doesn't warm up his tires, to give us a little bit of life. And yep, there it is. All of them warming up their tires. No, maybe Gurman's not doing it. Nope. No, maybe he is. Everybody is. And oh no, Gurman. Ooh, Gurman crashed. He crashed on his formation lap. And he's ghosting all over the place, so he gave it a little bit too much sauce. But now they're all going to line up. Thankfully, no damage is given in these formation laps. And we're getting a texture, a shot of the low-res texture images of the cars. Sorry, the people watching in the stands. We got some EU flags. And a little bit of ghosting going on as all the drivers line up into their grid positions. There's Anthony 82 already there. The rest of the grid a little bit late to the show. But nevertheless, we're getting ready for the start. And all the drivers are lined up on their grid positions. And we get ready for the 5 red lights. And it's 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And in Italy, it is go! Anthony 82 gets a good start. Flip-Flop Fish, though, is side by side of him going into turn 1. And look how close they are, and Flip-Flop Fish down on the inside. Is he going to make a move on the inside? Yes, he is, and he gets ahead of Anthony 82, and there goes off Josh 2, and looks like yes, and oh, there's big damage for, it looks to be Fluffinutta, who hit the back of him, and yes, there is front wing damage. Lots of carnage in the turn 1. Big time damage for Fluffinutta, and now he's going to be dropping behind a few drivers, but Flip-Flop Fish leads this race. He had a good run on Anthony 82 going into the chicane, and Anthony 82 slotting behind him. Fly By Night has had a good run of it, but he has front wing damage, sitting in third position. Albiku is sitting in fourth position. Does he have front wing damage? I don't believe he does, as we're going to look at his car right now, and nope, there is front wing damage. Pretty much everybody's got damage right now. Voodoo 52 is getting overtaken by a slew of drivers right now, so the pace not fantastic. He's getting sandwiched between Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen, and down on the inside, Voodoo 52 in the Ascari chicane overtakes Lewis Hamilton. And then Speed Kills 3 overtakes him, and now Josh 2 is all the way at the bottom of the grid. And that is not the start he would have liked to have had. And Flip-Flop Fish, though, coming around the Parabolica, he will complete lap 1 pretty much unscathed, giving Anthony 82 a little squeeze in the beginning, but you have to get ahead of him into the first turn. And a lot of drivers, I suspect, might pit. And no, Fluffinutta doesn't go into the pits. It looks like everybody's deciding to stay out. They're just going to deal with the front wing damage, though I don't know if you want to be doing that. And look at that. And yep, Fluffinutta really misses the apex of turn 1. Now coming up to the Curva Grande, he's in the slipstream now. If You See Me Flying, I believe You See Me Flying got away A-OK. And let's see if we can get a close-up of his front wing. And yes, he has no damage, so that's going to help him quite a lot. As Gurman sits in 5th position, just behind Fluffinutta, and it's really those Lesbo corners that are going to help Gurman as he has much better downforce. And but we're running up on the sand, and that's not going to help you at all. Gurman chasing down Fluffinutta in his slipstream now. Let's right on board of Anthony 82. He's still chasing down Flip-Flop Fish for the lead as he cuts the the first part of the Ascari chicane a little bit. Fly By Night is in third position, and look at that. Big time sliding from some of these cars, as now it looks to be the Red Bull of Yosemite flying into the slipstream. And oh, look at that. Gurman looking to make a move, and he goes on the inside of Fluffernutter, and he gets the move done. Good move by him. Yosemite flying now in the slipstream of Fluffernutter, and DRS is going to be activated on this lap, but you're not going to get it on the main straight. And now Fluffernutter looking to make a move on, looks to be Gurman again, and no, Fluffernutter, it's Albico, I'm sorry. Fluffernutter has actually dropped back a little bit, and look at that. Gurman gets ahead of Albico, and he promotes himself in the fourth position. And now it's Yosemite Flying, who is looking to make a move on Albico. Fluffernutter has actually dropped back a little bit. Albico is sitting in fifth position. Pretty good run of things for him right now. Let's see what he can do. As slipstreaming, and no, nothing going on. Fluffernutter has that front wing damage. It's really hindering him right now, as you can see. And somebody ran up on the grass a little bit, or the sand a little bit, actually, as I should say. Anthony 82 coming up a little bit further behind. Flip Flop Fish not able to stick with it. And Yosemite Flying's got DRS. Who doesn't have DRS? It's the Renault of Albico. Albico is in the firing line right now of a possible overtake, going to Ascari. Not really a place where you can be making a move unless the driver's really dolly-dallying. But now Yosemite Flying, and that's a really awesome camera angle right there, as coming down the second big main straight. No DRS on this straight, coincidentally enough, coming into the Parabolica, but now DRS is going to be activated here as Anthony 82 and Flip Flop Fish. Something must have happened as Flip Flop Fish had a mistake, as now Anthony 82 is basically side by side of him. It's going to be the late breaker move, and let's see what he can do. No. Good defending by Flip Flop Fish, and he stays ahead of Anthony 82. It was a little bit of a move for a second, but nothing doing it. But now coming up to the Curva Grande, Anthony 82 is in that slipstream of Flip Flop Fish. Can he make a move around the outside or the inside? Let's see if he's going to make something happen, and no, a little bit too far back. Don't want to be making any big-time move that could cost you. Hartman goes into pits. He puts on the medium compound tires. He wasn't happy with the damage he had. And there goes Yosemite Flying on Albico, and the move is made and done and dusted, and it's fifth position for him. Fluffernutter and Albico now 6th and 7th respectively. They've all dropped down a little bit. Fluffernutter, though, running up on the grass a little bit. Again, losing a lot of that downforce. He's decided not to pit, and he's just going to wait till the end of his stint, I believe, unless he gets really major damage or just simply can't drive. Going into Ascari, and oh, look at that. He runs up on the grass big time, and it's going to lose a chunk of time to Albico, and I think that says it all about that front wing damage. I think it would just be best if he pitted now, put on a medium tire, maybe even the hards if he's going to be daring it, and just go further into the race, make a little bit of an undercut. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but really right now he's struggling big time. Let's ride on board of Kevin Magnussen. He's right behind Lewis Hamilton, and he's going to have DRS down this straight. It's the battle for 10th position, the final point scoring position. There's the DRS, and no DRS for him. And no, both drivers have DRS, and it is on the Alfa Romeo of Speed Kills 3. Is a move going to be made by anybody? And no. And just perfect braking from the AI drivers. You gotta wonder how they do it. And the 82 is really close to Flip Flop Fish. He's kept close to him, and neither driver has damage, so this is purely the better man right now. Who can be the better man around here? As coming around the final Lesbo turn, and then DRS activated for Anthony 82, 5/10 of a sec off of Flip Flop Fish, who's in the lead of this race. And look at that, Gurman is very close to the back of Fly By Night. These two have had really awesome battles throughout this season, and I think we're going to get another one. It's coming up to the Parabolica. Is Gurman going to look to make a move on the inside very early? No, he's going to wait, but he's going to have DRS down the straight, and oh, Fly By Night goes really wide around the Parabolica, and now Gurman is going to be all over the rear diffuser. DRS is going to be activated, and now Fly By Night, all he can do is really watch as he slots behind him, but now a little bit of a slipstream break, and Fly By Night isn't able to make a move as Gurman kind of weaves around the track a little bit, and into the pits was Albico, and he's going to make a pit stop. He's going to have to replace his front wing. as these two drivers, Lewis Hamilton, Kevin Magnussen, going side by side. Lewis Hamilton, though, puts himself in the 9th position. Speed Kills 3 has been held for a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not good indeed for him. Fly By Night in 4th position, just outside of the podium. That podium being held right now by Gernman. We're on lap 6 of 27. A little whiles to go. We're not into the first pit stops for most of the drivers. We started on the hard compound tire. There's DRS activated, though he's a little bit further back than I think he would have liked to have been. And that slipstream not really working out best for him, as he only picks up about a 1/10 of a second through that straight. But now, better run through Ascari, and looking to possibly make a move. As here's Anthony 8291 challenging Flip Flop Fish for the lead of this race. 0.4 of a second separate them, as now getting onto the DRS straight, the start-finish straight. DRS will be activated, and let's see if a move can be made. DRS activated. Is he going to get close enough to Flip Flop Fish to be making a move? No, I don't think he will. It's a tale of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. The slipstream is there, but it's not enough. But getting very close to the rear diffuser of Flip Flop Fish, but no cigar. As Hartman has retired from the session, there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, and that is an off for Hartman. He's crashed out of Ascari, and he is out of this race. Hartman with another accident, and he is out of this race. The Haas driver looking for a good haul of points, but unable to do so, crashing out of this race. No good indeed. As Anthony 82 is chasing down Flip Flop Fish, but now it's almost outside of a second, so he's losing time to Flip Flop Fish. Flip Flop Fish might be better in the corners, maybe a little bit of more downforce being run on that Mercedes car. And yes, look at Ascari, big time gain through Ascari, and oh no, Anthony 82 has crashed, and his front wing has come off. Anthony 82 is all the way down in 4th position. You See Me Flying is going to take that position, and it's going to be 5th. Anthony 82, quite frankly, is very lucky to even have the car all together at this point, but half the front wing is gone, and Anthony 82 has blew it. It's another spin out. It happened in Hungary, and now it happens in Italy. Oh, big time drama. Fly By Night goes into the, Flip Flop Fish goes into the pits. Fly By Night takes second, and Gernman is in the lead of this race after all of that, but Anthony 82 has to pit. He's going to have to replace his front wing, and he's going to put on that, let's see what tire it is, the medium compound tire. But big drama for the top two, as it is Anthony 82 who crashes and might have just killed his race, as he's sitting now all the way down in 10th position. Flip Flop Fish is defending from Kevin Magnussen, who's giving him a little bit of trouble, and behind him Lewis Hamilton in the other Mercedes, as the Kevin Magnussen, the Haas driver, is sandwiched right now, as Albiku just gets ahead of Anthony 82, and Anthony 82 comes all the way out in 11th position. Big drama. The second man in the championship, not able to capitalize at the moment. He has to get further up the grid, but at the moment, despite Sweet Crown not being in this race, Anthony 82 unable to get anything going. Gernman is in the lead of this race. And really, Fluffinutta as well, I must say, looking pretty good at the moment, and he's still got a damaged front wing, but we'll see what the other drivers tend to do, as Gernman has decided not to pit. Fly By Night does not pit. Let's see You See Me Flying. He does also not pit as well. I must say the skies are getting a little grayer, as there goes Fluffinutta. Fluffinutta goes into the pits. Voodoo 52 will take 4th position. And no, Voodoo 52 goes into the pits. Speed Kills 3 will be the man who takes 4th position. And what was not a great qualifying has put him in a pretty good position at the moment. Flip Flop Fish is in 5th position. Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton get ahead. Fluffinutta and Voodoo 52 in 8th and 9th. Anthony 8291 might get ahead of them in the pits, despite destroying his front wing. And yes, he does. No, he might not get ahead of Voodoo 52, and no, he does not. He remains behind Voodoo 52, sitting in 10th. And nope, the overtake is made. Voodoo 52 has not had a great run through there, and Voodoo 52 will go side by side with him, but it's going to be futile as Anthony 82 gets ahead of him. Gernman is in the lead of this race. Another potential victory for him, as he was leading the race, and Britain, of course, made the pit stops finally and was not able to stay out ahead. But it all depends how the top three make their pit stops. Let's see what Gurman does. Still not into the pits. They might be matching each other, as no, Fly By Night does go into the pits. Let's see what Yosemite Flyin does, and he does not. Oh dear, Fly By Night gets hit with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's not going to help his cause at all. And not only that, but it's a 5-second penalty. He's going to have to replace his front wing, so he's going to go further down the grid, but a lot of drivers having to replace their front wings, so I think they'll be okay with that. Kevin Madison is in 5th position right now, not yet stopping though. Gurman still in the lead of this race. Yosemite Flyin has not pitted yet. Speed Kills 3, though, got ahead of Flip Flop Fish, but now Flip Flop Fish, is it going to be a grande move for Flip Flop Fish into the chicane, braking late, and no! And who cuts the chicane? And it is Speed Kills 3, who comes just behind. Oh no, they're going to blows right now through Lesbo, and is it going to be a move by Speed Kills? No, it is not. Speed Kills would have had to give up that position, as he basically cut the chicane and would have gained an advantage, and I think he decided to let Flip Flop fly at that point. Flip Flop now with a 3rd place right now. Yosemite Flyin gets hit with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, cutting the Ascari chicane somewhat. Let's see, Gurman, now it's lap 10. Is he going to make the pit stop now? No, no pit stop for him. Let's see what Yosemite Flyin decides to do. And he will continue on in this race. Flip Flop Fish is actually on that soft, so he still has to make a pit stop as well, it seems. Or did he? No, I thought he pitted already. Let's turn on the telemetry. No, there is one stop, so he has to make another pit stop, unless that's the wrong tire. No, he does have to make another pit stop, unless he started on the mediums, which I don't think he did. Flip Flop Fish might be in a bit of trouble here. He's going to have to make this a 2-stop race at least. Though I don't know if the mediums necessarily will go all the way in this race. We'll have to see on that. Let's ride on board with Anthony 82, who gets ahead of Albiku 1 into the first turn and makes quick work of the Renault driver. He promotes himself to 8th. Gurman now all alone right now, 8.6 seconds separating Yosemite Flyin and Gurman, and right now I think really the drivers might be just looking to match each other, as Gurman is sitting in 1st, Yosemite Flyin in 2nd, Flip Flop Fish is in 3rd, Speed Kills 3 in 4th, and then Kevin Madison rounds off the top 5, one of the AI drivers getting a good position right now, though to be fair they have not pitted yet, going a little bit further into this race. Gurman does not make his pit stop. What is Yosemite Flyin going to do? Is Yosemite Flyin starting to struggle a little bit? He's running wide into the Parabolica, but no, he's going to go further into this race as well. No pit stop for him yet. And they're really pushing the boundaries here. It's lap 12 of 27, and they're definitely looking to make this a one-stop strategy. Good tire management from Yosemite Flyin, and ooh, the car really stepped out there a lot, though. I don't know, that might mean he might have to make a pit stop, and he's running it in overtake mode, and the battery is all but depleted as Kevin Magnussen goes into the pits. He's the first of the AI drivers, and he will drop all the way back down, so there's that. Anthony 82 is sitting in 7th now, so he's made up a few places there. But Lewis Hamilton is actually chasing down Fly By Night, though. Fly By Night able to extend that gap a little bit. But Flip Flop Fish is actually catching up to Yosemite Flyin. Yosemite Flyin on used softs, new softs for Flip Flop Fish, and he's really catching up to him. And the last thing Yosemite Flyin wants right now is to be battling Flip Flop Fish before making his pit stop. But, you know, he wants to match Gurman. And look at that. That gap is really decreasing tenfold right now. And it's getting really, really small as he cuts out about 0.3 of a second through Ascari. And now it's 0.5 of a second separating them. Yosemite Flyin might have to go into the pits now. And yes, he finally does. And I don't know about... And that is rain, ladies and gentlemen. Rain is coming down on the track right now. Let's hope he does not go on the intermediate tires like he did in Hungary. And no. But the rain is coming down right now in this Italian Grand Prix. You can see little strands of it right now coming on there. If we go into the cockpit cam, and there it is. The droplets are coming down. It is not raining really hard right now, but I did say that it was getting a little cloudier. And Gurman right now still in the lead of this race. He's 9 seconds ahead of Flip Flop Fish, who might retain the lead of this race. Gurman will make a pit stop, and he will finish. I believe he'll end up just ahead of Fly By Night. It looks to be that the case. Lewis Hamilton goes into pits, and he's all the way down at the bottom of the grid. The AI drivers taking the final 2 positions, Josh 2. And Gurman gets hit with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Though that's not going to affect his pit stop time, it's going to affect the end of the race for him. And now Albiku 1 chasing down Anthony 82, 91. Yusimi flying in 5th position. The 2 Renault drivers very close together. Are we going to see a little bit of a team showmanship as Anthony 82 is chasing down his teammate? And the rain is coming down hard. And Anthony 82 actually put on the hard compound tire. Though with the rain coming down, I don't know if that's going to matter or not. The rain is not heavy right now. So we have a little bit ways to go before we start seeing some drivers pit for rain weather tires. But that's going to throw out a lot of strategies if it does start to rain heavy enough. You can see it coming down onto the screen of Anthony 82. And you see me flying. Does he make that pit stop? No, he is not going to be doing anything about that. And Albiku is in the slipstream of Anthony 82, and he's going side by side. And will he go on the inside of him? I don't think he even will have to try because he gets ahead of him cleanly. Anthony 82 is not able to do it, but he tries to get ahead, and now Albiku's get hit with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And look at this going side by side with Albiku 1, and no, he gets ahead of him again through the Curva Grande, and the move is done and dusted. But now Albiku will come back again. Can he be a late breaker? No. But you can see they're starting to squirm a little bit. The rain is not super heavy right now, but it is going to get into that point of limbo where the cars don't necessarily behave like they should in all regular conditions. But it's not dry enough for dry tires. It's not wet enough for wet tires. You're kind of in this little limbo. And I am getting confirmation from one of the drivers, rain in 40 minutes. So this is that remnants of the rain, and I'm finally looking to see. I got a message from Yusimi Flying giving me a forecast for rain. So we are going to get rain later in this race, but isn't going to be enough for intermediates because right now it's not raining enough for anything except to stay out there. It is going to make some drivers struggle. We're going to have to wait and see if it's going to make them struggle enough. But now Albiku is going to be in the slipstream. He's going to get DRS coming down this start-finish straight. But he's a little bit too far back where I think it's not going to matter. No move is going to be made in the turn 1. No. Way too far back. So let's look at Anthony 82. He's actually trying to chase down Yusimi Fine right now. The 2 Red Bull drivers in 5th and 6th respectively. And Flip Flop Fish is actually chasing down Gurman, and he's getting up to him pretty close. So Gurman just has to pray it starts raining a little bit heavier, and they have to make a pit stop soon. And the rain is starting to come down more, and you can see it more clearly on the screen right now. And I think what Gurman is hoping for, it just gets to that point where they have to make pit stops for wet weather tires. But right now, it's not damp enough, and really struggling out there. Gurman has maybe, I think, extended this pit stop a little bit too much, and he finally dives into the pits. And Gurman does not slow down fast enough. It's a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And that's another speeding in the pit lane penalty. And, you know, it's hard around Italy. You can really start to do that as Speedkills 3 will promote himself in the 2nd position. A good finishing spot for him right now if he can keep that together. But again, as the rain continues to pour down, the unpredictability of strategy still looms, though at the moment not enough to be making a pit stop anytime soon. Going to be interesting to see what happens. As the rain is really starting to come down, you can see it the definition of the rain droplets coming down more and more each lap. And this is going to be really interesting to see when the rain is going to be good enough for a pit stop. And ooh, look at that. Speed Kills 3 almost lost it. No spray from the tires. The track looking a little bit different, but not too different to warrant a pit stop. And now let's ride on board with Anthony 82. He's in within a second of You See Me Flying, but you can look. The speed around the turns decreasing a little bit. The car not accelerating how it normally would. And I think that rain's affecting it. And now You See Me Flying and Gurman going side by side into the Ascari chicane. Gurman doesn't have it at all, as he just lets You See Me Flying by. He doesn't want to be making that move. And look, yeah, the cars are really starting to struggle a lot. They're in that limbo mode, and it's actually Gurman who's on intermediates. I didn't even notice that. I don't know if that's the right tire to be on right now, as Anthony 82 now is closing up on Gurman. But I guess Gurman thinks that, you know, it's not going to matter. He's just going to let Anthony 82 by. No, I don't think it's right for intermediates right now. Though, I mean, if he stays on it and it does get to that point, it will be a bit of a miracle for Gurman. But let's see. Is there any challenge to be made by Gurman? And looking on the inside, and he really blows the chicane. And Anthony 82 had to make a really big evasive action. Gurman really went for a dive bomb that was never going to work, as now El Biku gets ahead of Gurman. That was, I don't know if that was bad braking or it was a dive bomb. Nevertheless, Anthony 82 has lost a chunk of time from You See Me Flying. That was a move that was never going to happen. And Anthony 82 gets hit with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I didn't see a time penalty for Gurman. El Biku now is very close to Anthony 82 because of all the shenanigans going in the turn 1. And that is not going to help his strategy at all. Fly By Night is on the softs, though. Flip Flop Fish is also on the softs. So that might be a graphical glitch. I'll get you the details right now. And nope, they are both on soft compound tires. Is that going to last until the end of this race? I have a feeling it's not. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, as Fluffinutta gets ahead of Gurman. And Gurman is really struggling out there right now. Again, I don't know if that was the right tire to go on. And there's a big cluster of drivers, and now Gurman is left in the dust as he goes all the way down the 9th position. Josh 2 is a little bit far behind. And now look at this. A few drivers going into the pits on their own right. Is it intermediate tires for him? Yes, it is. The drivers think it's ready. There's a bunch of drivers going into the pits right now. Voodoo 52 himself going into the pits, and I think it is time. No pit stop yet for the AI drivers, and that's really my indication when I tend to say that, oh, well, I think you should go into the pits now. But a lot of drivers deciding that it is intermediate tire conditions now. So the pack will bunch up a little bit. Gurman is going to be all the way in 6th position. And that looked to be the racing of a few drivers right there. And I didn't see who that was specifically. As it is Speed Kills 3, who is really challenging Fluffinutta right now. And soft compound tire on medium compound tire. A move made around the outside of Fluffinutta, and he gets it done and dusted. But now as a lot of drivers go on the intermediate tires, is it too early for that? Are a lot of drivers going to be struggling? If they aren't struggling and it is enough for intermediates, a lot of the drivers might be hanging out to dry right now, and Flip Flop Fish is into the pits. And this is a big key. Will he put on a dry set of tires or no? It is the intermediate tires for Flip Flop Fish. And I'm seeing a little bit of rain come off the back of the tire. And let's see. And hard tire still for Anthony 8291. And I think he might be going to the pits himself. And yes, he is into the pits. Intermediate tires are going to go on. Let's look at Flip Flop Fish's, the back of his tires. Is there rains coming up? No, there's nothing coming up. I think it's a little too early for intermediates right now. But if all the drivers make that decision, then it doesn't really matter, right? They're all on the similar pace. But I think that what we're in right now is they're in that limbo state. And I think that that dry weather tire just is a little bit less for wear than the wet weather tire, even if it's not optimal conditions. So right now, it is Speed Kills 3 in 2nd position still. Gurman in 3rd. And now a bunch of other drivers going to the pits. And now, is he going to switch back to dries? And yes, he is. I think he is switching for dries. And no, it's more intermediates. Oh no, there's front wing damage. DRS has been disabled. And now Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen go on the intermediate, so Wet Weather Rain is on to go in this race. But Flip Flop Fish has kept the lead. Ooh, almost lost the car there. And there is some spray coming off the tires. And at that point, now it is time for that intermediate tire. Are we going to get wet weather, full wet weather? I don't think we will. But gap's pretty big right now as Yosemite Flying had to repair his front wing. And oh, there's more damage. And Yosemite Flying has spun. Josh 2 has a corner cut penalty. And there's big damage for Yosemite Flying. He's reversing on the track. And that is very, very dangerous. And there's nobody behind him right now. He's in last position, so I don't think he has to be worrying too much. Flip Flop Fish, actually, though, is going to catch up to Yosemite Flying. And is there more front wing damage for Yosemite Flying? Let's see. Yes, there is. So I don't know if there was an incident with Josh 2 or Yosemite Flying, but nevertheless, there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. As look at that, Voodoo 52 has lost it, and he has spun out, and he has lost part of his front wing. He's going to have to make a pit stop. Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton should get ahead of him, as he will have to make a pit stop with only half of your front wing. You just can't go around a track, especially in wet weather. And Fly By Night gets hit with a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. A lot of sloppy driving from a lot of the drivers right now, as Albiku is very close to Fly By Night, actually. But with the wet weather, it's very unpredictable, as you can actually see Albiku struggling on track right now and then braking hard before that chicane. And drivers have to really switch up their driving style. Of course, the cars are set up for dry conditions, so it's going to make the driving a little unpredictable for a lot of the drivers, as Josh 2 gets ahead of Voodoo 52, who comes out of the pits. And Yosemite Flying all the way down in last place with another issue. Must have spun the car in turn 1, and he is going to come out behind Voodoo 52. Just how much behind? Is he going to make a late braking dive? And yes, he does. And oh, he's going to blow the chicane again. And Yosemite Flying is going to cut across, and Voodoo 52 is going to get just ahead of him, and I think he will let him pass, and yes, he does. Good looks by Yosemite Flying as he lets by Voodoo 52. Again, I think he was a little overzealous, thought he could have gone that position. Let's see. No, nothing going on in there. And now Speed Kills 3 is getting close to Gurman. But, oh, look at that. Oh, no. Speed Kills 3. Is he left to dry? Is that still the soft tire? And, oh, it is. He's the only driver on soft compound tire right now. Speed Kills 3 might have just blown his race into oblivion right now. He's going to be struggling big time, and look at that. The car is squirming all over the place, and he is on the wrong tire right now, folks. The really wrong tire, as Speed Kills 3 is all over the place right now. Flip Flop Fish, though, in the best position of his entire time in WSR to take his first race victory around the Monza track. Gurman in second. He is 16.5 seconds behind, but Speed Kills 3, he's got to be careful to really nurse the car back to the pits, because he's got to make a pit stop pronto, and he's going really wide through there, and he's going to flick it. Don't flick it too much. Don't lose the car, and he goes way wide, and I think he'll keep it together before getting into the pits. The Parabolica corner, the last turn that he has to negotiate. And let's see, coming around Parabolica, yes, the car is all K-planted, and just running on. Oh, no, he does spin the car before he gets to the pit lane, and that is no good. And now Anthony 82, ooh, Anthony 82 just gets ahead of him. Almost big contact. That was almost shades of Spain, as now finally into the pits. Speed Kills 3, not able to keep the car all under wraps. A spin for him, and a 3-second time penalty for Flip Flop Fish. Though I think that's going to be A-okay for him at the moment. And the driving a little sloppy right now from some of the drivers. And it is definitely intermediate tire conditions. Not good enough for wets right now. I don't know if we'll get to that point, as we're on lap 22 of 27, the final few laps of this race. And whoever has fastest lap of the race is going to keep that. And it is Flip Flop Fish who has the fastest lap of the race. And, ooh, going really wide is Flip Flop Fish, though. And he almost binned it into the wall. And, nope, now we have no gap. Apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Gurman now Is he getting close? And the gap's still 17 seconds, though. So he's actually must have lost time. Gurman must have his own off-track excursion. As the gap, no, it's about 15 seconds now. So he's gained a little bit of time. And Anthony 82 goes off track a little bit. He sits in third position. He's good recovery by him up to third position now. He's not going to be challenging for a race win anytime soon unless disaster strikes the top two drivers. Though I don't want to be jinxing anybody right now, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut for now. Josh 2 is chasing down the AI driver of Lewis Hamilton. We'll see if he can get ahead of him. We'll update you in a bit on that. Voodoo 52 is ahead of, Voodoo 52 losing the car almost. Used to be fine. Will be reveling in that as long as he can keep it together. We'll see what he can do. Is now Albiku 1 in the slipstream of Fly By Night, but no DRS, and cutting the chicane is Fly By Night. Oh, big down. Oh no, Fly By Night came back on track at the wrong time, and he made contact with Albiku 1. There's not big damage for either driver, but that was very, very risky as Josh 2 gets ahead of Lewis Hamilton. That could have been big-time disaster, but Fly By Night keeps it together, and late braking for Fly By Night. He wants to get that position back. He really blew the chicane, and he tried to get back on track, but instead of cutting across the chicane, he decided to come back on inadvertently onto the apex, which is not the way to go to be doing that, and that was almost a disaster. But thankfully the approach speed rather slow with these wet weather tires. If that was dry conditions, I think we might have seen a little bit more damage on some of those cars. Albiku sits in 5th. We're in the final 4 laps of this race. Flip-flop fish with a commanding lead over Gurman. Penalties, not too much of an issue for him, I think, as now Josh 2 gets hit with a 3-second time penalty. And Fly By Night is in the slipstream of Albiku. Who's going to get a better run out of Parabolica? It looks like Fly By Night is the man who will do that. Albiku struggling quite a lot. Now slipstream for Fly By Night. Albiku can only sit and watch. He's going to make a little bit of a weaving move. Is now late braking into turn 1. Who is he going to get ahead? And now into turn 1, and he's going to give him as much space as he can, and cutting the chicane a little bit is Albiku 1, but a better run out of turn 1 is Fly By Night, and he will get ahead of the Renault driver of Albiku. But now Albiku will be in a slipstream of his own, and he'll look to make that move on Fly By Night. Is he going to make a dive bomb move? No, he's going to keep it smart. But now Fly By Night blows the chicane, and now a better exit for Albiku. Fly By Night loses it on his own again. Cracking under the pressure, these two drivers battling for 4th position right now in the final few moments of this race. As Flip Flop Fish is going around the track very easily, and Albiku, though, is hit with another penalty. Lots of drivers have penalties in this race. It's been a bit of a story throughout, as Fly By Night and Albiku are right now the closest men in a battle right now. 4th position is that battle, and a yellow flag in sector 1, and that must be Voodoo 52. Yes, I think it was, as he let by used to be flying, so I think there might have been a little bit of a contact move. But now Fly By Night is chasing down Albiku. He's going to be in the slipstream. A better run through Parabolica again for Albiku. Good for intermediate tires. I don't think we'll be seeing the wet weather tires come on. Though I must say the grip does fall off quite quickly when you do get into that stage of the race. As, blowing the turn again, Fly By Night. And that might have sealed the deal. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a burp from my end. But Fly By Night is only in 5th. And he really lost it in the turn 1, and I think that might have sealed the deal. Unless Albiku makes any more mistakes, like just right there. But Fly By Night makes another mistake, and he gets a time penalty. So he is closer, though, to Albiku again. And look at that, big wheel spin, and now running wide onto the curb. You don't want to be doing that. The car can just fly out from under you within a second. Running up on the curb again. Really treacherous conditions right now for all the drivers. They're driving on a knife's edge right now. It's lap 26 of 27. And look who that's coming up to. Flip-Flop Fish coming up onto Yosemite Flying. He's gonna have to lap him soon. And let's see if Yosemite Flying knows to get out of the way. Blue flags are being waved. Though I don't know if he's gonna catch up to him in time. Yosemite Flying might slow down, but Yosemite Flying will wait till Flip-Flop Fish is in that position. Really, Flip-Flop Fish just has to make sure he's wary of the fact and he's not making any stupid dive bomb moves on Blue Flag's drivers, and I think he will just stay where he is right now. As let's see, Albiku 1 is in the slipstream of Fly By Night. Is there going to be a move made on the inside? No. And better run for Albiku. The switchback is made, and Albiku, does he get ahead? No, Fly By Night actually keeps the position almost side by side through the Curva Grande, and this is awesome scenes in the final few laps of this race as Albiku behind Fly By Night by a little bit, and now Fly By Night gets the position but blows his move again, and now Albiku will make that switchback, and this is awesome racing. Albiku gets ahead again of him. And then now Flip-Flop Fish. Is he ahead of Yosemite Flying? No, he's not. But now he's on that straight. And this should be a done and dusted move. No drama, I think, for the Mercedes driver. And is there any DRS? No, he doesn't actually use DRS at all. And now he makes sure to get out of the way. And no drama for Flip-Flop Fish. And up, but he does cut the chicane. And it's a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. But now it's Yosemite Flying, who has a really good run. And is he just going to sit behind, or is he going to try to make an overtake? I think he'll just sit behind him despite the bad run through the turn. I think Yosemite Flying not looking to make any Ocon level mistakes right now. As Fly By Night is actually a little bit farther behind from Albiku 1. So they look to be like that battle might be over. Flip-Flop Fish, though, is coming around the final Lesbo corner. And he is coming up to the Ascari chicane for Sector 3. And we are coming to the final parts of this race. Well, Alfa Romeo was our only way to get any pride here for the Italian Grand Prix. But the Mercedes of Flip-Flop Fish, as he again almost loses it in the turn 1, he is doing really well as he's making a few curvy moves, as he knows that he's very close to win his first race in WSR. Coming around the final turn in the Parabolica, he will come across the win, the Italian Grand Prix. The Tifosi goes wild, and oh no, big crasher for him, and oh boy, he wins the Grand Prix, but he crashes at the end. And, ooh, boy, Yosemite Flying is lucky that he was going to be done with his race, because that could have been really bad. Flip-Flop Fish crashed, but he crashed across the finish line, and he will win the race regardless, and now he's going to make a move on himself as well. But, I don't know if drivers want to be doing this, because this is just affecting everybody right now. And I think they're just ready to crash it. I think we're going to get a little bit of a demolition derby. I don't know if that's exactly the most professional thing, but nevertheless, Fly By Night will come across the line ahead of Albiku. No, Albiku gets ahead of Fly By Night at the end. Fly By Night had too many penalties, and Speedkills 3 will finish in 7th. And he smashes his front wing too. Yeah, it's just a big demolition derby at the end here. Josh 2 is going to come home in the final points position for the AI drivers. For the human drivers, it's going to be 9th position for him. Voodoo 52 and Yosemite Flying missed out on it. Yosemite Flying leaves the session. He is not happy. And now, big crash. Oh, man. But Flip-Flop Fish is putting his hands in the air, even with both tires off the car. And this is going to be interesting. I'm going to look at this podium, because there's going to be damage on this car. So I'm assuming it's going to have no front 2 wheels. Let's see. Oh, I can't see it. Come on, I want to see both cars. It is Flip-Flop Fish, though, who's going to raise the trophy high. We should see another shot of the cars. No shot of the cars, but the champagne flies for Flip-Flop Fish, winner in WSR. Gurman gets on the podium, and look at that. Anthony 82 recovered, got a good drive. And thank you so much for watching. This has been Worldwide Sim Racing. It's been the Italian Grand Prix. It was a pretty good Italian Grand Prix, and I was so excited to bring it for you. Again, my name is WSR or Noah Kark. Make sure to join us next week for the Feeder Series race and the Singapore Grand Prix. It's going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for joining us, and it is Worldwide Sim Racing signing off once more, and have yourself a wonderful night.